Hello everyone, Andy Schwab here with your Farm and Ranch Report. The USDA last week announced the appointment of 5 members to serve on the American Lamb Board. One of those appointees include Galanta's very own Dave McEwen, as he'll hold the seat that represents producers with more than 500 head of sheep. The 3-year term for McEwen will begin in January and run through January of 2027. In addition to those appointments, the USDA appointed 2 producers to serve as members on the National Sheep Industry Improvement Center Board of Directors. One of those members included Randy Tunby of Baker, who will serve for the next 3 years. American Sheep Industry Association President Brad Boner of Wyoming said the center has proven to be a great partner in strengthening the sheep industry with project support such as creation of the commercial wool testing laboratory in 2022, support of the new lamb processing facility in Colorado, and the launch of the Sheep Genetics USA in 2021. He also voiced his appreciation for volunteers' leaders' willingness to serve the national sheep industry organizations. Well, Todd Lackman, a young farmer and agricultural education teacher from Miles City, topped 3 other competitors in that Final Four to win the Montana Farm Bureau Young Farmer and Rancher Discussion Meet. He received the keys to a Polaris Ranger and will be eligible to compete in the national competition, which will be held during the American Farm Bureau Convention in January in Salt Lake. The discussion meet, which is open to Farm Bureau members ages 18 to 35, is meant to simulate a committee meeting with ideas discussed and solutions developed. The ag teacher said he decided to participate in this year's YF&R discussion meet because of his involvement at the MSU Collegiate discussion meet. Matthew Slipka, a student at MSU, won the Collegiate discussion meet this year, which was also held last week at the MFBF convention. Well, we need to take a quick break, but join me back here in a little bit as we look over some of your ag news and markets.
We asked Montana farmer Walt Sales about the challenges of mental health in agriculture.
Another drought, there always is. There's always going to be another something. I grew up in a generation of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, but it's become evident is what do you do if you can't even find those bootstraps? If you need to talk to somebody, go to beyondtheweather.com for free counseling for Montana ag producers.
Welcome back, friends, to your ag news and your markets. The National Cattlemen's Beef Association is opposing the USDA's decision to allow Paraguayan beef imports starting next month. NCBA has reportedly raised concerns with the USDA over Paraguay's beef history on their foot and mouth disease and the outdated information used to justify Paraguay's access to the U.S. market. NCBA says they're concerned that USDA's failure to use the information from a most recent site visit in that risk assessment may pose risk to the safety of the U.S. cattle herd. NCBA Executive Director of Government Affairs, that is, Kent Bach, has said USDA based that decision on that deeply flawed risk assessment, which uses old data from those site visits that were conducted more than 9 years ago. He also said the diplomacy shouldn't be done on the backs of U.S. cattle producers. Well, cattle futures welcomed the new week with slightly higher prices yesterday, and they're still behind the record highs set earlier this year. This week's trade will likely be hesitant to fully engage as the latest monthly cattle on feed report is set to be released on Friday afternoon. Well, the pullback in the futures complex last week negatively affected some of the local auctions, with pays seeing prices soften by about 10 cents a pound or sometimes more. And the sheep auctions are also sliding along mostly steady trend last week, with some interest being picked up on some of those heavier weights. Now, soybeans once again stole the show yesterday for the grain futures, with new sales being reported for them. Unfortunately, that 35-cent a bushel gain did not lend a lot of support to the wheat complex that finished mostly just north of that steady trend. Well, there's a look at your ag markets and news. I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.